Hello, everyone. Welcome to a episode of Let's Talk with me, L2N Gaming, and we're gonna do something new: NBA tier list of the 2025-2026 season. Not too. It's not gonna be too in depth. So if you're looking for that type of video that I don't like, this is not for you. This is just a quick rundown of. I did a tier list, and these are just my thoughts. This is my opinion of where I think these teams are going to be in this season. Whether it's going to be bottom tier or sort of like top tier, but I did it just a completely different. This is not an S, A, B, C. This is more like a mountain kind of thing, if you understand what I'm saying. But I'm gonna have my own remarks to it. But without further ado, let me just show you the first two tiers. Okay, at the bottom we got in the first pick of the 2026 lottery goes to, which is pretty much the bottom tier. Like lottery pick, bottom tier. I think you get it now. And I have the Washington Wizards, Utah Jazz. Basically, Wizards, Jazz, Brooklyn as the first three. Not in particular order on this one, but this is pretty much the three bad teams that's most likely is going to have a best chance of getting the lottery. I mean, the number one pick in the lottery. And then in the other ones, you have Trailblazers, Kings, Hornets, and the 76ers. The 76ers are I don't think they should. Granted, I did this tier list just throwing in teams like I think they're not going to be very good. And the 76ers are a little interesting in why I put them in there. I don't know how Joel Embiid is gonna be. Like, this team can basically be from okay, you're alright to oh, you're bad, depending on how Joel Embiid is gonna be. Am I right or wrong? Like, it just depends on. I just don't believe that Joel Embiid is gonna be 100%. He can never be 100% healthy. The best Joel Embiid you're gonna get is gonna at least gonna be 80%, and even 80% Joel Embiid is pretty damn good. But 100% you're never gonna get that ever again for Joel Embiid. You just gotta. Is he gonna play all 82 games? Absolutely not. He has a verge of playing under 50 games. We don't know how well Joel Embiid is going to be. I just don't see them being the 76ers altogether being that good. So we're going to move on to the next tier list. Is good enough to sneak in to the play-in, which 76 could easily be in that one, depending on how Joel Embiid is. But let's move on. A friend of mine, Darius, said I got the Miami Heat a little bit too high. And kind of thinking about it, yeah, might be, but I really believe that the coach Eric Spoelstra, if that's his name, if I butcher his name, please forgive me. I think he's going to be good enough to at least push you into the play-in or have a chance to be in the play-in. This is not in particular order, but I got the Miami Heat, I got the Toronto Raptors, I got the Dallas Mavericks, San Antonio Spurs, Bulls, Pelicans, Phoenix Suns. A lot of people don't believe in the Phoenix Suns that much. I can give you that. Like, if you were to say, man, I don't believe the Miami Heat should be in that list. They should be at the bottom. I can agree with that. Phoenix Suns being at the bottom, I can agree with that. The West is just a complete monster right now. Like, dude, the 8th, 9th, 10th team can be pretty damn good. It's just that they lost a couple of games where they were at the 5th seed and then just drop all the way down to ninth. That's how deep the West is to me. So if you see your team being in this tier list, don't feel too bad. I mean, like the Dallas Mavericks, if Anthony Davis can stay healthy, they can actually be pretty good. But like I said, the West is crazy, right? The rest is very crazy out there. Even Toronto Raptors, I like Brandon Ingram. I think they're good enough to not be a terrible team, and they might just sneak into the East. And then you got the East, which is just not a very good teams over there. Anybody can sneak into the East. But this is my tier list of good enough to sneak into the play-in. Let's move on to the next one. And this is, at least we are not too bad to be a play-in team, right? I mean, you got, for Milwaukee, still got the Greek Freak, like, who I think he's going to have a very monster season out there. He does have players around him that's not too incompetent. I mean, if you want to add in Kyle Kuzma into the incompetent, then yeah. And not to forget that the addition that the Bucks have that makes me think that, oh, they shouldn't be a play-in team is Miles Turner, of course. So, would you say that the Milwaukee Bucks are good enough to not be a play-in team? Would you see them as a 5th or a 6th seeder in the East? Yeah, it's a possibility, in my opinion. In my opinion, at least. Then you have the Atlanta Hawks, which all they do is go into the play-in. But I feel like with the additions that they have on their roster, the Alexander Walker that came from Minnesota, then you got Porzingis. Dude, the Atlanta Hawks shouldn't be a play-in team, right? I mean, this is probably the best roster that the Atlanta Hawks organization finally gives Trae Young, who is just himself is the damn play-in master. Like, yeah, when the Atlanta Hawks are in the play-in, you're going to have to, give them at least a shot. I mean, I put my money in most of the time when the Atlanta Hawks are in the play-in, because long you had Ice Tray over there, like, you had a chance of sneaking into the playoffs before getting knocked out. So this time, at least this season, in my opinion, Atlanta Hawks should be good enough to not be a play-in team. And next up is semifinals. Here we come, and the Detroit Pistons are the only team that's in there, because I feel like with the success that they had last season, Cam Cunningham showing that he's a baller, and the players around him, I feel like, even though losing Dennis Schroeder is going to hurt a little bit, at least for depth. But you did add Duncan Robinson. I think this team is at least good enough to move past the first round, get into the Eastern Conference semifinals, and there you have it. Like, I believe in them. I think they're pretty damn good. But let's go ahead and move on to the next tier. Okay, this tier is if our star can stay healthy. And you have the Grizzlies with John Morant, Warriors with Stephen Curry. Well, I will say star with Jimmy Butler as well, but Stephen Curry mainly. And then you got the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard, which is, I say every year with the Clippers, is they deserve at least a benefit of doubt every year, because if you've been watching the Clippers for the past 3 or 4 years, what's the main problem that they usually have? Kawhi Leonard not being healthy. Then he showed in this past playoff with the Denver Nuggets, if he can stay healthy, then the Clippers can be a very good, formidable team in the playoffs. So this is why I say that. Yeah, even the Grizzlies, who gave the Thunder, at least with the way things turned out in Game 3 against the Thunder when Ja Morant went out and they had a big lead. They were going to at least win Game 3 if Ja Morant was, I think, if he didn't get hurt and stuff. And after that, after he went out, they collapsed. Basically, it got swept. So, yes, I feel like these three teams right here, if their player, their superstar, can stay healthy, maybe they can have a big run into the playoffs. Just maybe. And then we move into the next tier, which kind of think of it, maybe they should be bottom with the Grizzlies, Warriors, and the Clippers, based on LeBron James getting hurt, and we don't know how long he's going to probably be out with a nerve injury that I have. That could be very annoying. But anyway, let's move away from that. This is the campaign for the 26-27 run. I don't see this team. I'm a Laker fan, by the way. I don't see this team doing anything special this season. This is basically okay. You see what Luka can do. I think he's going to have a MVP caliber season as far as his stats go. Do I see the Lakers doing something this year? Probably not. But with the way Luka is potentially could play or being, maybe you can attract other stars to come on the team. Maybe, just maybe, right? I don't feel like this team has a good enough roster to make a big splash this season. Yeah, I mean, you finally addressed the center that you needed, I guess. Well, I put it like this. You finally got a center. Now, we don't know how good this center is going to be. I'm talking about DeAndre Ayton, a.k.a. Angry Ayton. Okay? You lost Finney Smith and you replaced him with Jake LaVaria, which is, I got to see it. You still got Austin Reeves, but his contract deal is coming up soon, so do you trade him just to improve the roster? And then you got everybody else on the team. This team doesn't have athleticism. When it comes to athleticism on defense, no, this is not good. This is not a good team at all. And in the playoffs, you're going to have to play some kind of defense. Does this team have good enough defense? Hell no, it does not. This is just a year where Luka can go off, and hopefully if he does go off and he does make the Lakers a formidable team into the playoffs and go further because of him, and they lose, maybe, just maybe, you get some stars or some players that's like, hey, Lakers are pretty good and Luka's pretty awesome. Let me go to that team. Maybe I can be that piece that Luka needs. This is why I said this is basically a campaign for the Lakers for next year. Okay, let's move on. And this is a little funny one, which is when can I move to the East, my boy? And I'm talking about the expansion, the quote unquote, the expansion with the new Las Vegas team and Seattle coming in. If it does happen, if I'm Minnesota, I am pleading for the NBA to move me to the East. Did you see how bad the East is right now? What if they was in the East right now? They'll be the formidable team that be going up against Cleveland Cavaliers, right? So, yes, I like Minnesota Timberwolves. I like Anthony Edwards. I think he is just one of the best players in the NBA right now. I feel like the coaches his situation is simple. I feel like he's not doing enough. And then on the flip side, I feel like the coaches are failing him because they just not doing enough for him. Does that make any sense? Like, I feel like they need to run more plays for Anthony Edwards and not let him just stand there. Like, if you look at the series that he had at Thunder, watching him play, I feel like he could be doing more. Or I feel like the coaches should be running more plays and just not letting him just stand there. You know what I'm saying? And then you got James Randall. Randall struggling. And then the players around him struggling. Like, I just feel like, hey man, he can be doing a little bit more. A little bit more. But Minnesota, as long as you got Anthony Edwards, you made it to the conference final twice. 2 times in a row. Right? So you can compete. I just feel like you'll be even more better if you went to the East, my boys. The East is least, basically. Y'all jump in, y'all can be a form. I mean, it even makes sense. Makes sense. Look at the teams that's around Minnesota. Cleveland, Indiana, Chicago. Dude, they should be in the East. Yeah, Memphis might have an argument, but Minnesota, like, come on now. Like, come on, NBA. Just go ahead and put them in the East. Put them in the East. Let's stop playing around. You know the expansions are coming in soon. You know Seattle is coming back. You know Las Vegas is going to have a team. Look how well the Aces in the WNBA is doing. Like, come on now. Easy. But let's move on. Fight a good fight. And I'm talking about the Boston Celtics and the Indiana Pacers. Both teams suffered injuries to their superstar, and they're gonna probably be out for a year. I know that Jason Tatum's he's saying he's gonna come back this year. No, you shouldn't. Just sit down. Like, go sit down, rest up, get ready for next season. Same thing for Hollenberg. Like, guys, like, I commend you on your determination, but no, y'all need to sit down on this one. But I feel like these two teams are good enough to be at least formidable into the East. Speaking of how weak the East is, they got enough players on their roster to be competitive. Put it like that. Like, if you take it easy on any of the team just because, they don't have the Super Bowl, you're going to be fucking sadly mistaken. Like, they have enough firepower to be formidable. Like, are they going to make a big splash into the playoffs? Are they going to be in the conference final? Probably not. No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Like, they should be at least formidable. Put it like that. Okay, we're going to move on. Looks good on paper. The Houston Rockets. Now, when you add in Finney-Smith from the Lakers, and then you add in Capella, then you add in, I don't know, a player that's going to be a Hall of Famer really, really soon when he retires. Kevin Durant. Like, you look at that, even though they lost Van Fleet from a torn ACL, which is it really sucks. I don't want to see any player get hurt, especially in the off season. Like, that's pretty suck. But anyway, you still got a good team that looks good on paper. Now, the reason why I said it like that is, like, yeah, you got Kevin Durant, but I seen this dance before. I see this story before. Kevin Durant goes to the Brooklyn Nets. Oh, they're going to be a great team. Oh, they're going to be a finals team. How that turn out? Oh, Kevin Durant gets traded to the Phoenix Suns with Devin Booker. Oh, they're going to be a great team. How did it turn out? So I feel like that the Houston Rockets just looks good on paper, but I got to see it. It's like, yeah, you look great, but I got to see it. Right? You look good on paper, with the team, the players that you already got on there with Sagoon, but I got to see it. I got to see it to believe it. Still have you on my tier list, top of my tier list, but I got to see more. Yeah, you're going to see him tonight against the Thunder. We're going to see. We're going to see how really good this team is going to look. That's all it is to it. Let's move on to the next tier. And the tier is threat to the Cavs. You have Orlando Magic and you have the New York Knicks. Orlando Magic is a very interesting team here. Look, with Boston and Indiana taking a step down based on injuries to their superstars, and you have the rest of the East is just like Orlando Magic and New York I could see them being either number 2 or number 3. These two teams here and the Orlando Magic are just pretty damn good. Banchero, Wagner, they just added in Desmond Bane. They're going to be even more better on defense. On the defense side of it. Kind of missing something. Maybe they need one more guy they can trade for that can elevate them even more. But I can see the Atlanta Magic, with the way that roster is, they can win a lot of games. They can win up to like maybe 50 games. 50 games. They got the players to do that. New York Knicks are the New York Knicks. I mean, you added Clarkson, which is going to help your bench out a lot. You're going to definitely put up some points. Team is good. With the East, like I said, the East is least. You have a chance of possibly doing something this year. But I feel like the New York Knicks at times make things harder than it should be. Like, they will make game interesting. Teams that they're supposed to beat, they'll let them linger around. Sort of like how the Steelers are, in my opinion. Like, this is the one team where they're going to make every game interesting, no matter who they play, especially in the playoff. They could fool around and go to a 7th game and win it against, I don't know, maybe a team like the Atlanta Hawks. They're their type. Are they a threat to the Cleveland Cavaliers? Yes, they are. But they gotta get out. They gotta stop shooting themselves in the foot at times. But that's how I feel. Let's go ahead and move on to the next tier. Cleveland Cavaliers. The East is all yours. Yes, the only team that the Cleveland Cavaliers have to worry about is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Basically, they got no excuse. No excuse. The East is theirs. What they're taking. I don't see, besides New York and Orlando, I don't see any team beating them. I really don't. They fooled around last year and lost against the Indiana Pacers because, due to injuries and stuff. That's another thing. Can they go into the playoffs with no injuries? That's another thing. They be in their own way at times. They're too good of a team, at least this year, to not make the final. There should be no excuse. No excuse. You add in Alonzo Ball, that's going to help out plenty. Right? Especially if Garland gets hurt again. At least you have Alonzo Ball, right? Look, I'm looking at the roster right now. You're too good. Too good now. There's no excuse for you not to make the final. You gotta make it. And then in the final tier, you have collision course. Dude, the Thunder and the Nuggets, go ahead, write it in. This is gonna be a Western Conference Finals. Let's go ahead and just bake it in. Thunders are the defending champions. Like they're not gonna miss a beat. And then you got the Denver Nuggets, who just added in. They got Bruce Brown back. You got Tim Hardaway Jr., which I did not know about just now. You got Valanciunas coming in to back up Jokic. This team is packed, man. They might even be better than the Thunder. But other than that, and the game that they had in the playoff went to 7 games. Dude, this is writing on the wall. This is going to be the Western Conference Finals. Book it in unless something crazy happens. This is a dream. Dream for me. Like, fuck, I am a Lakers fan, but come on, man. I am an NBA fan too. I want to see the best teams in there. Denver Nuggets, OKC. This is a collision course. Like, they're gonna be playing each other for, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. I'm going to watch all the games. I gotta see it. Sign me up when they're gonna play. Like, it's going to be special. It's going to be special, at least for me. I don't know how y'all feel, but collision course, 2 best teams, most likely going to win the NBA Finals. Like, I don't see Cleveland even touching them. Well, I mean, it's going to be good. I hope it goes to 7 games, but I think that the Nuggets and the Thunder are going to beat Cleveland. That's all there is to it. That's my tier list. Tell me what you think about it. What do you think about the placement that I have? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Put it in the comments section if you checked out this video. But thank you for tuning in. Like if you like, dislike if you dislike, and I'll see you guys next time.